Hello guys, what's up and welcome back to Essay by Sketchbook. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I decided to make today's video a little bit more relaxing. If you didn't know already, I'm making a daily video for this month, the month of October, because it's fall and what's better than to make daily videos. What I want to share with you in this video is my workflow from SketchUp to Lumion and some tips that you can use if you're just starting out with Lumion. I've already found this whole tutorial and the screen recorder just shut down and didn't save anything, so I'm repeating everything from scratch right now. So how is it going? I'm going to tell you first of all, because this is my workflow from SketchUp to Lumion, and I want to tell you what I've learned like very quickly. See, this is a reverse surface. If you put anything in Lumion that's a reverse surface, it's going to be shown completely transparent. You want to close your surfaces. You want to apply different materials to different objects, because once the material is applied in SketchUp, you cannot change it in Lumion. For example, if your bed and your wall is in the exact same material in SketchUp, then you know what? It's going to change together in Lumion. So these are the things that you kind of need to learn. Try to have everything ready in SketchUp. Try to close surfaces. Try to have all the windows open, like things like that. Without further ado, let's get to Lumion. Okay, you guys, so when you first open Lumion Pro 8, which is the version that I have, if you can go ahead and download Lumion 9, that's a lot better. You can see that, first of all, my computer speed is too slow. That's because of my CPU and my graphics card. However, it would still function and work really well. So, as you can see, you can choose the scenes. You can choose an example if you want to work on an example, or you can load a scene. I'm going to load the scene that I've been working on, and I will give you the tips that I worked on one by one, so you kind of have the knowledge without going through everything. Let's start with the basic interface. I've just got the plain scene going on. If you go down here, you can see all of the controls. If you right click on the mouse, you can go around right and left. If you scroll back and forth, it zooms in or it zooms out. And if you click on the scrolling button, it can go up and down, which is the basic way to move. But you can also move using the arrows on your keyboard. And you can also use the WASD, like gaming, to navigate your scene. That's it. This is your control. You've got it under control. You have the layers on the top. You can add as many layers as you want. You can put things, different objects on different layers. You have the objects, materials, landscape, and weather. We'll be talking about each one of them during the tutorial. You have the moving objects, sizing objects, rotating and changing height. This is where you place your object. Especially if you want to start a project from the zero, then you have to go to imports and select the object. You can import it and place it like that. You have the other mode, which is the move mode, where you can select multiple things and you can delete them all together, or you can select according to the items. This is basically it. And then you have the photo, the movie, the panorama. Fill tab, you need to select it to select something. And the landscape tab is my favorite because you can create kind of like mountains. You can even add an ocean. See, we've created an island. It's so much fun. To show you how I started out with the scene, I'm going to reload the model. I'll open it. Okay, this is how I initially started with the model. You can see there's no glass, there's not much going on, there's no moment in time, there's nothing on the bed. So if I go to the new model, this is the after. You can see I've added a chair, I've added something on the bed, I've changed the materials, and I've added some lighting. And I'm going to show you step by step how I got to this. This took me a whole hour to finish, but if I spend more time on it, it's gonna look even better. So yeah, let's go to the other model and work on it to show you guys how I did this one. Okay, first of all, before you start with anything, you need to change the materials, because the materials that you did in SketchUp, they're fine, and you can still render with those materials. However, if you want to get to the next level, then definitely try to apply materials in Lumion. So for example, I want to change the bulbs because they're bothering me. Once I clicked on them from the material tab, I'm going to click on the pure glass tab, and then I've got myself nice glass looking bulbs, and that I can adjust the reflectivity for. I can change the color, and it just, you have to read and work with what you want to do. You can find a lot of materials, you can find a lot of indoor materials, fabrics. I like to choose this fabric for the bed because it looks kind of nice. Actually, I'm gonna change the mood for this one so I don't get too bored, and I'm gonna change my material for this guy to a color. I'm gonna choose the white color, go back and go to the standard. Once you go to the standard, you can see that it automatically adds the gloss and the reflectivity, so you can adjust that. You can choose any color that you want. You can even colorize it and add as many details as you want. Again, with the same thing, standard, colorization, and you can choose the color that you want. I'm gonna change the wallpaper into this wallpaper, okay? Just work with me. What up? Glass pillows. I mean, why not, right? This is the virtual world of the internet, so we have nothing to lose, to be honest with you. You can do whatever you want, and you can get creative. As you can see, we have a completely different mood for this room from the other room. And what I want to teach you from the materials as well is to, I want to add an emissive material, so a material that lights up. I'm going to choose the inside of the bulb, and I'm going to go to standard, going to go to settings and increase the emissive. Because they're all selected as the same material in SketchUp, they all lit up as well. Okay, so now that we know how to apply materials, I really suggest you to go ahead and apply materials for everything, and I'm going to time lapse what I'm doing. If you want to add a mirror, you go to the pure glass, you apply the pure glass to the surface, and then you make the reflectivity full, and then you've got yourself a mirror. Make a mirror here as well. If you want to change the transparency, especially for a fabric, the option that you go to is transparency. You don't want waxiness, you want transparency, and you can adjust the transparency to let in light inside of the room. Okay, so now that we have the materials that we want applied into the room, by the way, if you notice on the changing table, I have one material that's exact as my pillow. So when I change the pillow and the bed sheets, this material changed too, but that's okay. So what we can do is that we can work around it. We can add like extra color to it, make it white, but then we have to make this white as well, which is fine. White bed sheets are a classic. This was a joke, so we gotta change this because we don't have glass pillows. That would hurt. So now that we have all the materials applied, we move on to the next step. Now the next step is to add more objects before you start rendering. So adding objects is very easy. You go to the objects tab, you have the indoor, the nature, transport, people and animals, outdoor, and you have even sound. You can add sound effects and lights and special effects, or you can import anything that you want from SketchUp. You can select the object by clicking on here, and then you can see a huge indoor library that contains a lot of objects. So take a look at the things that you would like to add. Example of that would be to have like a messy room, kind of. So it's not a terrible idea. I mean, you can have this outfit thrown on the bed randomly. right? And as you place the object, you can move it by going to rotate. You can rotate it by clicking in the middle and then going into any angle. You can also adjust the rotation here. You can move the object, change the height for it, so take it up or down, and you can also size it, so change the size of it. I'm alright with this. Maybe I want to move it to like the left a little bit. So yeah, we already have it. So the phone is thrown right here. She's dressing up. And yeah, since she's dressing up, why don't we add a bag? This bag matches the room a little bit. So we can... There's some objects where you can change the colors. Others you can't. So the bag you can't really change. So yeah, you can adjust the scene as much as you want. Change anything that you want. Add as many artworks as you possibly want. Glasses, nice, very nice, casually thrown glasses. Okay, you guys, finally adding lighting. Adding lighting and special effects is through this tab right here. And as you can see, I've added some lights, but I couldn't capture the video, so it's just basically about going to the bulb or the place where you want to add the light. Thank God I didn't add lights here. And adding it in the middle. And as you can see, it's already added, but it's way too strong, so we're going to adjust the brightness. And what you can do as well is target the light where you want it to go. So you can literally choose areas where it's like too dark and target your light. Also, you can target it on the top. You can change the cone angle to make it more focused. Finally, with the daylight, what you have is the weather tab, which is my favorite tab. I've added this tree right here, so the light has some kind of a tree shadow inside, which is gives it a nice mood. But for the weather, let me show you. You can adjust the sun height, make it as high or as low as possible. You can make it into a complete night, which is kind of scary. And you can change the sun direction according to the plan or where it's the best location for you. I want the sun to go in a little bit more, so I'm going to change the lighting direction, and I'm going to make it go down a little bit so it has this nice light entrance. And we're done. Yay, that was really fun. Finally, what I'm going to do is render. So you render by going to the photo tab, and as you can see, I've already created scenes for the other room that I created without the luck of having the screen recorded. So for the new room, new materials, you can just adjust the camera. The controls are exactly the same. You can change the focal length even. And what you can do is go to custom styles. There's a lot of different styles. You can even do watercolor or color sketch. And I love that so much, you have no idea. But I love it especially when it's on the realistic term. I feel like it's the best one for interior. You can adjust the exposure right here before you render. You can again adjust the angle. You can take different pictures to the angles that you want to render. There's no door to this room, did you notice? I mean, I just wanted to show you the workflow. If you want things to look super neat, here's my advice. I promise you, it's gonna do miracles. What you're going to do is add effects and then add a reflection. Reflection is very important. You just edit it with a pen, add a plane that you want reflected, and keep adding all the planes that have even a little bit of reflection. Trust me, it does a lot of magic to your render. Thanks to my beloved husband for teaching me this particular skill. You can add up to 10 planes, so kind of be cautious with it. Then press OK, and when you render, you're going to see the magic of it. You can even add depth of field, shadows, anything that you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to render this by clicking on render. I like to choose it on the disk with the desktop quality, render desktop. See how fast it is. I would love to change the lighting even more, and what I would like to do is maybe change the colors, because the colors are kind of off. This is why I always take it from here to Photoshop. Would you look at that? That barely took any time. And if I wanted to work on it more and adjust everything to the perfect setting, I promise you it's going to look perfect, and it's worth all the time that you put in. I love Lumion so much, and I'm so glad that I learned it. So I just take the picture to post-production in Photoshop, and then my renders are ready. And the thing is, I always open the render, especially when I'm with a client. I always open the render and I kind of walk through it, like to show all the corners and nooks of the room. It kind of gives the client a correct feel of how the room will look like. So yeah, we're done. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great time of the day wherever you are in the world. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Bye guys.